especially when I was with Allison Armstrong's panel, which I was like 4 or 5 times in Chicago and Detroit and all these different places. And I realized that being on this panel with a room full of 75, 100, 200 women, you don't know anything about men. And the other thing is we don't know anything about women. So we got this automatic, we don't know about you and you don't know. So over the years, what I've come to is there's a seminar I created called From a Man's Perspective. And like next Saturday, I got 20 men, all sizes, ages, colors, and everybody else. The one over he's talking a lot, he's one of them. And to really talk about like what is it that we're looking for. Because it's really great when you all talk to your girlfriends about your issues, but they can't give you the issue, they can't answer those questions like men can answer those questions. So you need to be in a very safe environment with men who are conscious, big word, who really know what they're looking for and really have the ability to speak for themselves, not for men, but just for themselves, so you can kind of get an insight in how we think. Because that would be a better, I think, better source for you understanding where we're coming from than trying to figure it out on your own. So my wife and I work together, and we call ourselves relationship alchemists. We evolved that to, that kind of name because we realized in working with singles and couples, it's like an alchemical process of putting 2 different metals together and trying to figure out how to come up with gold. So first of all, when they did that a long time ago, they never came up with gold. But that process of kind of bumping into each other is what I consider necessary for you to really have a conscious relationship. You're not going to find the soulmate who's perfect for you. It's going to be some work involved. And then I have been around so many women. I asked this question. I said, how many of you have been in relationships where you knew the hair on the back of your neck was up, and you said, something's wrong, I don't know it, but then you stepped over it, and somewhere down the road, you looked back and said, I knew it, and I stepped over it. So why do you have to step over it to find out later that you already knew that with that spiritual part of you already told you that wasn't going to work? So another thing I found out about women, most of you are only looking for one. And another thing I found out is that you all don't know how to date. No one taught you how to date, but nobody taught us how to date. So it's like the blind lead the blind. 2 blind people on a golf course with blindfolds on trying to get the ball in the hole at midnight. And you can't figure out why you can't do that. So I have these Melvinisms, like Melvinism 101. You can't see your eyebrows. So don't bother thinking that you can think how to figure it out, because if you could have done that, you would have done that already. So if you had known how to date, and women just didn't get that in school. So who in school learned how to date in grammar school, high school, and college? How many people took relationship classes all their life? And if the divorce rate is 50%, how many of you will go out and buy a car if you knew it was going to break 50% of the time? But yet we keep doing it, and people want to get married, they want to get married, they want to have relationships.